I think just say androids. Don't say how I.
Androids.
Yes. Let them notice this. Oh.
She's so stupid.
Wait. We need to do some shit for the intro. That works. That works.
Hello and welcome back to the Cyber News Weekly podcast. This week we'll recap the Tesla We Robot event, how South Park came for Sam Altman, and how I was bullied into buying an iPhone 16 Plus, and why people hate Androids. With me this week are my colleagues, Ginterus.
Yes.
Yes. And Jurgita.
Hello.
Hello, guys. How are we all doing today?
Fine.
Good. Yes.
You?
Yeah. All very, very well. Thank you very much.
How's your iPhone Plus?
My iPhone Plus. Well, we'll get to that a little bit later on, but spoiler alert, it's just a phone. So, you know, that's what I think. But did we witness the Tesla robot event this week or last week?
It was hard not to see it.
Did you watch it all?
Not all of it. Not crazy, but a recap. Yeah, I did watch it. Yeah.
What about you?
I did watch
Yes?
it. I did read.
What did you think?
About what?
About the Wii robot event.
I don't know what I think.
Right, this is going swimmingly.
Exactly,
This is so weird. It's not my place to think.
Really? Because I have opinions.
I'm not an investor in Tesla.
No, but like the whole, okay, so maybe I should be more specific, like the production value, say, of it. And because to me, I've never been to a college frat party, but I feel like that's what one would look like, a high-end Hollywood party. And Elon said, he said that, it's the Wii robot party. It's not an event. It's not a,
Yeah, I agree. It really seemed like a Hollywood type event,
Completely.
like the whole fake environment is like the film
Well, it was
studio
at
vibe.
Warner Brothers Studios.
Yeah, it was a studio. So yeah, the people that were shaking the boss's hand or whatnot, like they were real, but the whole environment around was just so fake.
So artificial, yeah.
Yeah.
Which I guess is fitting for autonomous, robots and cars and stuff like that.
Yeah, and Elon himself, as usual, he looked like he was on ketamine the whole show through.
But what
Have
you
you ever
want?
taken ketamine? I don't think that's what people look like when they take ketamine.
Well, you take a look at Elon and you see how people look like when they take ketamine. He said before he does.
Someone's never taken ketamine. Anyway.
Good
You
to
gotta get
know.
that.
But I think we are kind of past those boring events where Apple introduces presents new Mac or new phone and whatnot. This is way more interesting for sure because people get to talk about it, and the whole Wall Street is still buzzing, about it. Of course, about the production value and all the serious stuff that Musk, on ketamine or not, presented. We kind of, we tried to make fun, but it wasn't just a party. There was tons of innovation there. Of course, there were lack of details there. But this is
Very surprising that there's lack of details in Tesla's event.
Well, it was all very optimistic, I think, in terms of...
Over the top, mate.
Well, I kind of liked it. I don't know. I thought it was an innovative way to kind of showcase your innovative products.
Yeah, like I said, like you said and I said, it was all very glitzy.
Yeah.
And beautiful, shall I say. But at the same time, a movie can be very picturesque, but it can still be shite. So
this is but the actual innovation was showcased there, even though there's a lack of details again. Investors didn't like it immediately after the event. The shares tumbled approximately 10%. They said that's not much. I will get into that a bit later. But, again, what investors and with Morgan Stanley being the biggest bull on Tesla and Musk overall, said they lacked the details because, for example, the CyberCab, right, it is supposed to go into the streets in US in 2025. And, it's not clear how they would get like approval, to kind of actually get those cabs on the streets. Also, investors, they're no fun, right? Like Elon Musk is trying to sell them on the future, but they also like having invested the money in the company, right? They want to see something being done for like current revenues and profits. What they expected was the kind of cheap Tesla Model 2 maybe, because what Tesla is not good at is actually at increasing the sales of Tesla, so they could get the revenue they need now to kind of finance all this dream of Musk's, right? Yeah, so what investors wanted, they wanted to see a cheap, boring car, presented by Musk. So because it would mean sales today, and he was, again, not the first time trying to sell the future, right? But again, the shares stumbled by 10%. But ever since Musk announced there's gonna be a robotaxi event, he tweeted that back in April, the shares went up by 45%. So, like the 10% tumble is really nothing compared to the previous, increase.
And I mean, what did we see at the We Robot event, Ginteris?
Yeah, we did see the CyberCab, the robotaxi. I'm inclined to call the event We Robot because Musk kept calling it Robovan.
Robovan.
Not
Robovan.
because he just can, I think. I don't know. But it wasn't that bad. The event, he unveiled the CyberCab. He had a ride in a CyberCab.
He had his first ride.
Of about 100 meters, I would say, but still.
So anticlimactic. So anticlimactic.
The Robovan, according to Musk, will be the vehicle of the future to drive sports teams to events. Not like 20 people can drive in a Robovan. And we did see the latest version of its Optimus humanoid robot.
That was robot.
Yeah.
That was actually not autonomous.
But this is
revealed.
something that I do not respect Musk for, because he is trying to artificially build that robot future, and people are scared by AI and by robots in general. So you don't need to freak them out, right? Like show the future, but don't make people doubt, is this a robot? Is this a human being? Like who's controlling them? It gets scary when it comes to like Optimus robot. That they are really scary, good already. Like they can do some home stuff, right? But also,
you mean humans remotely controlling them?
Not the robots. Like he's been showing innovation over and over again, presenting all the innovations, what those robots can actually do. And, maybe this was more like a fast forward preview that they will be able to serve you and whatnot.
Yeah,
but
day
they already
but
they already can fold your laundry like the actual robots, not human controlled robots.
Pick up stuff and carry it from A to B. Well,
that's
probably
great.
not very far.
That would be great. Folding laundry, that's the one
that's the
function
future.
I would love in a robot to have one.
Yeah, you see.
Well, it's going there, but
just that.
Apparently, when like the Optimus bots were walking, it was completely powered by AI. But then when there were tons and tons of videos on social media platforms of these Optimus robots actually speaking to people and dancing and doing rock, paper, scissors and playing charades and stuff like that. They were teleoperators. So they were.
But that future is quite
humans.
near, I think. Maybe it's not polished just yet, but I think like in next We Robot, or however he's going to call it, event, we'll see Optimus robots doing that autonomically.
Yeah.
To me also, and you mentioned this doubts that the investors and the experts keep having about whatever Musk is presenting. It might be the future, but it depends. I mean, the timeline is unclear. He keeps mentioning these dates then when the CyberCab will roll out into the streets.
Well, he said 2026 to 2027, I think.
Yeah,
optimistically.
But in 2019, he said that Tesla will have 1 million robotaxis by 2020. Didn't happen, and then he claimed in 2022 that Tesla would be mass producing the robotaxis by 2024. It's nearly at the end. Didn't happen. I mean, it's been going on for 5 years, these promises that are quite empty. So I don't know. And again, the demo, we keep talking about, how he's showing us the future. Maybe, but the future in real life will not look like whatever the film studio environment looked like. I mean,
I think it will.
there were no erratic drivers on the street, no drunk drivers on the street, no wild pedestrians or dogs.
Well, maybe if we have cybercabs,
the density itself,
then there won't be any drunk drivers on the street anymore.
Well,
and
it's not going to be like one day everyone's going to be riding in a robo taxi.
Well, you can. Apparently, he
How
said
many
that
Cybertrucks did he sell? A few thousand, really. Yeah?
quite a few. Quite a few.
Also, that's not how you sell cars or cybercabs and whatnot, like showing people with, after drinking on the street.
So it's a marketing event.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
But nobody's refuting that. I think it was kind of amazing to watch. And although
But would you though? I mean, okay, I'm sorry for interrupting, but
you should be.
I am. So
Sorry or interrupt.
So okay, so you can maybe afford yourself a robo taxi because private consumers will be also able to buy one.
Because that'll be $30,000 supposedly.
It's not a lot, really.
Yeah, it's cheap.
So you can purchase that one, but would you drive in that, like ride in that without a steering wheel or pedals?
Yeah, well, that makes me slightly uncomfortable. But if the technology gets there, then sure, why not?
How sure will you be?
We are not the future. Even like you being younger, you are not the future. Musk is selling the future, and it's not for us. We have our own concerns and whatnot. For many people, it will be very much intuitive, I believe. And I wouldn't even believe Musk if not for the what he's done with the SpaceX, right? And we can see from that business, right, that okay, he faced a lot of ridicule when he started building the company, right? But look where it is now.
Yeah.
And okay, so X business is not going too well, but he's running multiple companies.
Yeah, you can't be the head of everything. Like you can't be ahead of the curve on every single business you do. You have to know your strengths and weaknesses. And I guess in certain aspects, he's stronger. In other aspects, he's weaker. We can't expect him to be perfect.
I think what is ruining it for him is his rants on X and the fact that he owns it. He's quickly becoming the most probably polarizing figure.
Problematic human.
Problematic, and investors are again also very disappointed because he's running a lot of companies, right? And then he might be in the Oval Office after November elections in the US. Yikes. And investors want to kind of him to focus. Okay, so you're doing SpaceX. Well, let's do space. Then you can't do everything and be present everywhere. Like in this event, I think he talked for 20 minutes, not more, right? And when you are eager to meet Elon, you kind of want to more and way more out of him, right? I think there's just a lot of personal hate when it. Well,
he doesn't help himself.
Well, of course not, of course not, and it's all the rants. He's really polarizing and making enemies left and right in everywhere.
Mostly.
Everywhere in the world, essentially. But again, I'm just looking what he's done with the SpaceX, and I kind of have a belief that okay, he is building a future, and it's not for us. It's for future generations.
So, but just to clarify, has he done whatever has been done with SpaceX, or has actually NASA done whatever SpaceX has done? Because NASA is basically funding SpaceX.
Yeah, so the technology is
so
on
Elon
Musk's
Musk
side.
Probably has less to do with that when we think.
Well, yeah, but Musk has less to do with all of his businesses than we'd like to think, surely. As in there are people that are working that are actually doing the labor to make these things happen.
No business is one person,
exactly.
Right? But it takes one person to kind of, hire those people, hire the brightest minds out there, and kind of sign those contracts, negotiate, and whatnot.
Yeah. Agreed.
Yeah. He did very well to convince the federal government to give him $15 billion to fund SpaceX.
Yeah, so here you go.
Well, that's his money now, so, Good for him.
Well, it's
Woohoo!
not his money. It's a private-public partnership, whatever SpaceX is doing. And that feat that SpaceX has done with the rocket booster just a few days ago, it was really, really impressive. But I would just simply add that it was Musk plus NASA plus the US government.
Yeah, but
It's not
can you
only
name?
him. It's
Can
not
you?
the genius of
Yeah,
Elon
can
Musk.
you name a business that isn't a part of anything else?
No. Also, can you name?
McDonald's.
any other space company that got that far as SpaceX, be it with NASA or without it, where they've gone? It takes not just like engineering and whatnot. It takes like business mind
I absolutely
to get there.
agree. I absolutely agree. So,
We love you, Elon.
oh well, I don't.
Anyway, okay.
He does have that pedo chuckle.
Okay. Right. So South Park was
Talking of pedo chuckles, yes.
Speaking of pedo chuckles, what an excellent segue into us. South Park
welcome.
and Altman. So what was going on there? Well, we've all watched the Fred Jassy video, right?
It's from 3 years or so.
Ages ago, but news to me, unsurprisingly.
That's wild.
That is wild. About deepfakes and stuff like that, and that was from the creators of South Park, right? But they've just taken a stab at Sam Altman. Yes?
No, they
No?
didn't. They are kind of planning to do that, but now they're working on a movie and South Park episodes. They're going to be a batch of them released next year. What happened here is that Matt Stone gave an interview to Bloomberg's Shore, right? And he was talking a lot, obviously, about TV and, the South Park. I was happy to learn that there's no end in sight for South Park. So, hey, that's kind of, social commentary, which we know is not always comfortable. And I love that because the internet is increasingly becoming kind of cleanish, where if you are a legit communicator, then you kind of try not to engage in any controversies. And, what South Park creators are doing, they are discussing everything, right?
And they're being outrageous about it, which is also fantastic because if you're taking a stab at everyone, you're not discriminating against any one kind of person.
So what happened here essentially, well, nothing happened just yet. South Park talked about a bit about ChatGPT and AI in previous episodes last year, right? But Stone was asked during the interview in LA, like, who would be the person that he would like to kind of give it a go, like to kind of laugh or mock.
Take a stab at.
Yeah, just a bit. And then, so Altman popped to his mind, and saying like, this guy, it seems like all he does only goes to podcasts and whatnot. He also said, does anything he says make sense or strikes, you as being smart, as with those guys, we never know. Are they serious? Like how serious they are? Because then he said, I think that, Altman is the really clever guy. I hope to meet him one day and whatnot. So,
but that was when you would say something like, Neve, do I think that you're very smart and genius-like as opposed to very fake-minded and empty? Yes, I do.
Yeah.
Something like that.
South Park has creators have problems again left and right because of copyright and also this uncomfortable language, right? So I'm guessing he's just kind of trying to have a clean slate here. Was I joking? Was I not? We all get
you'll never know.
We all get the irony, but the good thing that we'll see more South Park next year, probably talking more about Altman or someone else and ChatGPT and all the shit in AI. What is interesting, right, that these guys like Parker and then Stone, they are engaging a lot in AI and deepfakes and whatnot. When other creators, they are kind of, AI is so scary, they're gonna robots gonna steal our jobs and whatnot. What these guys are doing, they are investing, and they just got 20 million investment round, I guess the beginning of the year or so, to even like perfect their deepfake technology even more. But what we saw from
Fred Jassy,
from Fred Jassy,
confusing because it's Andy Jassy is
Fred Sassy Justice.
Yes, Sassy Justice. Yes,
it was released a few years back before the pandemic, right? And it was originally a 14-minute length video, right? Which combined a lot of really good, scary good deepfake technology with some obviously fake one where like they would take like puppets, like a Tom Cruise puppet and say, oh, this looks so real, like this puppet, right? But then at the same time, the Fred guy would resemble Trump so much, right? Like scary much. And it was 3 years back, right?
Yeah.
Anyway, Stone and Co. has is betting big on the deepfake technology. They just say they love Hollywood, by the way. This is kind of was weird for me, but they do love Hollywood, and they think that it's gonna be so cost effective for them, because it's way easier to just put a deepfake mask on me, right? Like if I am a good actor, right? Then put me in the makeup chair and kind of try to put
prosthetics or whatever.
Which is kind of time consuming. Then if you are filming for like some consecutive days or weeks, you have to do this every day, and it's expensive. While with deepfake, right, I do some movement, but then the technology does the rest, right? Essentially, one actor could do the job of like 10 different people on the stage, like on the set, right?
And surely people like actors will start licensing their images in this case, so that they wouldn't need to physically be there.
If you get the same amount of money but you don't need to be there, free money.
Yeah, basically, easy. Just license your image, somebody else does all the work, and bing, bang, bosh.
Bing, bang, bosh.
Also, I think that irony on satire, like South Park, is a perfect medium for these technologies to kind of evolve, really.
Makes them less scary also, I think.
Yeah, but I mean, in satire, I think legally you're allowed to employ whatever technology is there.
Not really.
Well, as Elon Musk said, satire isn't illegal when he posted that.
Listen more to Elon Musk.
Fred Sassy was actually supposed to be the full-length movie mocking Trump, but then the pandemic hit, and what Stone said to Shaw during this Bloomberg interview, that essentially it was like the avalanche of copyright problems for them. Like they kind of mock so many celebrities, and they do that in the Book of Mormon or South Park manner. So it's edgy.
But is it copyright issues or like libel issues? Because they're not the same, obviously. Because copyright, I mean, they had to buy images and then. Yeah, problems.
I haven't gone through the lawsuits, and I don't think I even care that much. It's just a hassle for the creators. That's what I know.
Of course.
Yeah. Well, I really enjoyed the Fred Jassy. Sassy.
Fred Sassy.
Fred Sassy. Oh God, I'm confusing Andy Jassy and
vagina poop. You see, now I'm deepfake.
Yes, we are deepfakes.
No, get cereal.
Get cereal. Okay, so moving on. I was bullied not too long ago. It's a really sad story. My colleagues would give me a sideways glance if they saw me with my Android phone. I also can't spell nor say the word Android properly, but I digress. So I bought an iPhone 16 Plus. Everybody look in awe.
Can't look at
Looks just the same as mine.
Ooh. It's basically no different probably from a regular iPhone. The reason why I bought it was I was like, aha, right, let's go. I can tinker on that little Apple Intelligence stuff, see what's going on. Turns out I can't because it's not available. So,
do you know what bullying is? It's not like sideways glances. Sure.
Well, I was being told that I suck because...
I don't think that was because of the phone.
Okay, here we go. You've seen it. This is proof. This is proof. I'm being
Vagina
bullied.
poop.
Vagina poop. Yeah, so I was bullied into buying an iPhone. I really quite like it though, to be honest. You have an Android, loser. You've got an iPhone. You're gonna get there.
Yes.
How long have you been an Apple user?
For ages.
Ah,
It's just better. It's a status. It shows that I'm rich and,
precisely.
Yes.
That's precisely the point, because I actually loved my Android. I've used an Android for the past 3 years, and in the past I've also had Android phones interspersed with iPhones. I had a Samsung Galaxy S21 Ultra. It was good. It did the job. It was durable. But many people take umbrage with Android phones.
Well, anyway, you talk to experts, right?
I did.
And this is the battle between two favorite sports teams, right?
Yeah.
This is like a clash really every time we talk about Androids versus iPhone.
Mm-hmm.
Whether it doesn't really make that much of the difference. Seems like just personal preference, right?
Yeah.
But it's not like that. There's way more here, right?
There is, yeah. So the reason why, well, some experts told me that the reason why people might dislike Androids is there's a lack of consistency throughout. I think people understand Androids from those really shitty, cheap phones, instead of looking at the high, flagship.
This is so biased, but okay, keep going.
No, tell me why you think that.
That does make sense actually, because there are way more different phone models running on Android system.
Yeah, exactly.
Whereas iOS is just Apple phone,
yeah.
which is already premium segment, right?
And it's you've got flag brands like Samsung, Google, all of these kind of brands that have high-end Android phones, but you get some cheap ass phone from wherever, China or something, and then people immediately think, oh, that's an Android, instead of looking at these higher value phones. So I think it's generally that lack of consistency between these models and people assuming that.
Yeah, but it's open source, that's why.
Exactly, yeah. That is exactly why.
It's so funny that we talk about value. Also, when you talked about your phone, you talked about investment. I think those devices have no value whatsoever, and certainly not an investment.
What did the experts say about why people hate iPhones? Or were you not asking that?
I wasn't asking that question.
Why?
Because I wanted to know why people hate Androids. I didn't want a comparison between.
Like I said, it's a bit biased.
So I wasn't writing the article on why people hate iPhones. I was asking why people hate Androids.
Also, no such people could be found.
Haha.
Yeah, because I presume we're all grown-ups here. I mean, I don't hate iPhones.
Presumed wrong.
I don't hate iPhones. I'm not especially attracted personally to them as well. I mean, who could have thought the two major phone operating systems both has pros and cons? It's as if this discussion wasn't going around for 100 years already. Remember Macs and IBM laptops? It's the same thing.
Remember.
Well, yeah, I don't know why I said yeah. I don't actually know what you're talking about, but
and even this discussion should have happened 10 years ago, because that's when the discussion was going on.
No,
now
but
these systems are quite similar.
People are still having.
People switch to different phones every day, and 10 years ago they didn't care, and now if you're
they did much more than today, because these systems are now quite similar, and in a few years' times they'll be pretty identical except for exclusive apps.
Have you ever used an iPhone?
Yes, I have.
But it's really, really different.
It's very different.
The logic is so different.
It depends. What do you need from a phone? What do you need from a phone?
I need to
watch
iPhone 9.5 hours of YouTube. That's what I figured out.
Can you not do it on an Android?
I can, yeah, but also the problem with Androids are that sometimes they lack bug fixes or updates, which makes them kind of a bit clunky, a bit slow. The experience of using, let's say, an iPhone in comparison to an Android is miles apart, completely different.
Yeah,
so
I've tried both. It wasn't that different, but that's fine.
But the main crux of the story is that Apple has basically better marketing. Like and people are loyal to the brand because it's the shiny new thing. They're constantly have a new phone out every year, and it's more of the hype around, the devices than really anything. Because I could go back to my Android phone and probably be happy, but I wanted an iPhone because it was the new shiny thing.
So basically you're in this American high school kind of environment in your mind, right? Because that's where people are showing off their iPhones, and people who use Android phones are judged.
Sure.
Good.
I'm happy to say that I'm in an American high school in my mind. Yes.
But they are like so different, and the reason I switched to iPhone is not because it's any more expensive than Samsung. Samsung is more expensive now. Like if I'm not choosing from Huawei and any other like cheap alternatives, I have essentially Samsung or iPhone. Pretty much the same price segment. And I think there's a reason while Apple is so popular in the US, it's not because, it's the US company, it's because it's more intuitive. I was like growing up learning how to install Windows or kind of crack Windows, like clean malware myself, like everything would be very custom. Also like the piracy, because we didn't have any streaming services for like years. So we all learned how to how to find some workarounds and whatnot. So like I knew how to download the torrent on my Galaxy tablet. That's something I also had. But then, my tablet was outdated, and then I thought, okay, I want a new one. And I tried my friend's iPad mini, and I just learned that, okay, it doesn't help, doesn't give you options to customize your stuff a lot, because then with Apple, you need like iTunes, you need specific cables, whatnot. And if you have one Apple device, you need all the Apple devices, because then it won't make any sense. But just like the way you interact with it, the like how many times you have to click, how it would lead you to other apps and whatnot. It's way more intuitive how people think, and that's why I think like it was made for the US market. Just kind of make it very, very convenient.
Easy, yeah.
Because I love Androids because you can customize them a lot. But with Apple, you get that seamless experience where you don't really need to think and to go through settings and whatnot.
And that's like a lot of the experts that I spoke to said that, the kind of downfalls of Android are also the reasons what makes them so good. Like they're customizable. Yeah, that means that like certain things can happen and people can tinker with them and jailbreak them, but also gives you more flexibility to do what you want with your device that you've paid for.
I think that's the main benefit for Android systems, because you can do way more with them.
Exactly. And
if you know how to.
Yeah, if you know how to, and people can learn. And I mean, that's the problem with Apple is like once you're locked into Apple, you're locked in, you have to, like you said, buy all the devices and kind of go along with the little Apple ecosystem that it has or whatever. So, yeah. But I don't hate on Androids. I love Androids.
Yeah, it's fine. I think all these
don't want to offend you.
Antitrust cases in the US might change somewhat the environment of the app world, the services and whatnot, because Apple might be like forced to allow other apps into their ecosystem,
like
which
Google
they
is now.
Yeah, there's a precedent almost with Google.
Yeah.
So, but can I just say that I don't worry about it so much as well?
Yeah, no.
I mean, it's your thing, and you just bought a new phone. That's what the discussion in your head probably was about. But and I'm not taking it. Don't worry. Like I said, I tried an iPhone for 3 or 4 months 2 years ago. I don't remember the number, but I did like it.
Yeah.
I didn't like it as much, so that I would move on buying iPhones from then. But to me personally, what I care most in a phone and in a device is as long a battery life as possible.
Yes.
And with iPhones, I've noticed that
they deteriorate.
It's not good. It's not good. Maybe because there's a lot of stuff in there. I don't know, but it's not good. Then again, privacy is much better
Yes.
protected in Apple's devices.
Much better.
So as I said, there's pros and cons everywhere, and it's your personal preference. And I guess this shouldn't even be like judgmental, which is not in our case.
No one is judging. It's
No one's judging.
not-
I'm just joking when I called you a loser for having an iPhone.
It's weird
Android.
because it doesn't happen because people stick to particular operating systems because it's hard to move to a
Yeah.
different one.
Yeah, it's a fuss.
I
Yeah.
tried using Google Pixel phone. It's nesамоне. It's nonsense for me. It doesn't make any sense. It's not. I just, makes me anxious because suddenly I don't know how to use my phone. And she switched from Android to iPhone, which I was like naturally surprised because if you are like into Samsungs, why would you buy an iPhone?
Yeah. Well, I'm struggling at the moment because I don't know how anything works.
You see?
But I did just want the shiny new thing. I can say that I'm fickle, but yeah, and I was just interested to try out an iPhone again. Also, I wanted to see what all the hype was around the iPhone 16. Because
You need to wait for AI to see like
Exactly.
the difference.
Yes, and maybe the European Union will have to say something about that.
Jesus.
We'll see. I saw a good example of what Apple Intelligence summaries of texts look like. There was a guy who posted a screenshot of a message from his now ex-girlfriend that he got, the breakup message, and it was summarized: once the break off relationship, needs to get belongings from the house.
Yeah, literally. Yeah, I wrote that, and it was crazy. Like how to summarize a breakup in 10 words.
Exactly.
But are you surprised?
Not in relationship. I'm very unsurprised. Not in relationship. Take things from apartment. Bye bye. And it goes, and it was on his birthday as well. But
I actually love it. Like, if I were to break up, I wouldn't want to have like face-to-face conversation. It's easier to do it over text.
yeah, and then if Apple summarizes it, and actually
You don't even have to read the text then.
The text was
Yeah,
a
like
lot,
the whole rant and reasons
Yeah.
why. Just
and it
So,
sounds
thank you.
It sounds more
Understood. Bye bye.
Noted. It sounds more blunt than it is, the Apple Intelligence summary, but the text message he got was apparently way worse. So it was like, I can't believe you do this to me, blah, 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 blah. So really, Apple Intelligence did him a favor and just gave him all the information.
And maybe if he cheated, Apple Intelligence could have written, you know why, the third.
Do you know what you
segment.
did
no,
last Tuesday?
it could go further and say, "Oh, deleted the evidence."
I'm your little helper, helping you
Helper.
to conceal. Okay,
Wrap it up.
let's wrap it up. Right. Thank you, everyone, for joining us this week. And we will see you next week, hopefully. Bye.